Hello, this is Brett Wiley from the Bureau of Environmental Analysis, Restoration, and Standards, and I'm going to give a tutorial of the 2018-2020 Integrated Report StoryMap. Now, if you're familiar with the 2016 StoryMap, the setup for this one looks quite familiar. There's the interactive map in the left and center part of the screen, and the narrative sidebar on the right side of the screen. As you can see, there remains the ability to simply zoom in by pressing the plus button on the top left, and zoom out on the map, and use the home button below the zoom buttons to return to the original extent at which the page loaded. See, for example, if you were zoomed significantly far in and you were at a pretty local level, you could go to the home button below here and go to the default extent. Furthermore, if you have location services turned on in your browser, you can use the My Location button below the Home button to hone in on your point. So this is where the My Location button is located. While zoomed in, either through the plus minus buttons or the search tool in the top left, one can view the station level. Now the user can also click on the assessment unit level as well to see the information related to that assessment unit, such as its name, a number, and its designated use, whether it's full support, non-support, insufficient data. In addition, you can see the list of parameters associated with that designated use. Also, at this zoom level, you can view the stations. Associated with these stations, you can see the station number, station name, aquatic life designated use, again full support, and non-support, along with the parameters, full attain, non-attain, and insufficient data. But the key thing to point out here is that, one, there are no insufficient data stations, and that two, a single non-support station leads to the entire assessment unit being deemed non-support. On the right of the screen, the narrative sidebar gives the user context of what they are seeing on the map. On the top of the column, a description table gives the user a question related to the designated use, followed by the water bodies that are assessed and number of assessment units assessed. As you see right here, description, water bodies assessed, and number of AUs. Below that, there is a legend with the color scheme that is consistent with the one found in the report itself. Legend located right here. In addition, there is a language note that states attain and support in the assessment results are used interchangeably, and a station disclaimer that states that the stations represent the approximate sampling location. Below that is a statewide results pie chart, as seen right here, along with accompanying narrative text below that, and bar graphs for designated use results by region and major parameter results that can be found further down the column. Turning to the new features, a sidebar on the left of the screen allows the user to see which layers are visible or not visible by clicking on this button, turn layers off and on by clicking the Layer List button, and change the base map by choosing one of the maps from the base map gallery by clicking this button, the one with the 4 squares. However, arguably the most significant new feature can be found in the top left of the map. Now, if you close this, minimize that, the top left of the map right here, where you see the text Determine Search Type. While this feature was available in the 2016 version, we've added new functionality by allowing the user to search by address, municipality, assessment unit, and county. And these can be found all here. So if you click on address, you just type in whichever address that you want to zoom in on. If you click on municipality, you start typing in a town name or a city name. If you select assessment unit, this will be searching by assessment unit name. Now, if you don't know the assessment unit name, you can go into the tables that can be found in the report itself and copy and paste a name over. Or you can type in a local river that you're familiar with, and likely there will be an assessment unit name associated with that river or stream. While the Aquatic Life General tab is the one that will open when the user first opens the page, this format allows the user to click on any of the tabs at any time instead of having to scroll down through the page as in a normal web page. Now, I want to indicate some different looking pages than the one that you see here. They're all slightly different in terms of the map itself, but this sidebar varies in its format slightly as we look at the other tabs. For example, fish consumption, the legend here indicates that no stations are displayed. Still has the color coding of the map, but on here it has the language note in terms of attain and support, and the assessment results are used interchangeably, but it doesn't have the note in relation to station location. Otherwise, this side tab is quite similar to the Aquatic Life General in terms of its content. Another different looking tab is the shellfish tab. While it has very similar looking setup in terms of the description box on the top here, if you scroll down, you can see that there's a link to additional information about shellfish classifications with detailed harvesting maps. If you click on this, you'll go to that information on that separate web page. A new tab will open. Below that, there is a information box further describing some information relating to shellfish assessment. And below that, there is a graph comparing harvestable and approved shellfish waters. And finally, there's a tutorial tab that gives you some of the information that I've already presented in this tutorial, but in a visual still format. Thank you for listening to this tutorial.